The music industry's favorite odd couple turned power pair, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, are well known for their eccentric chemistry, chart-topping tunes, and a love story that is so heartwarming that it could make even the most grumpy cowboy drop a tear. However, there is one location where you will never stumble into this pair: the beach. And you ask, why? It all boils down to a wild combination of Blake's cowboy roots, Gwen's glam inclinations, and a seagull incident that is now the stuff of folklore in their household. So buckle up, because the reason is as hilarious as it is unexpected. And it all boils down to a combination of these three things. A few years ago, Blake, who is known for his romantic nature, made the decision to surprise Gwen with a beach vacation. This is when everything began. Gwen, the queen of no doubt and everything sparkling, was ecstatic at the prospect of a vacation that would be filled with heat and sunshine. She envisioned herself wearing a caftan that was flowing, sunglasses that were large, and a hat that was floppy, all while enjoying a pina colada and listening to Blake play a guitar in the sand. Blake, on the other hand, envisioned something a little bit different: a cooler stuffed with ice-cold beers, his reliable fishing rod, and possibly asleep under an umbrella. Despite the fact that their perspectives couldn't have been more dissimilar, love is always a source of optimism, right? They arrived at the shore, and that was the time when the trouble started. When Blake arrived at the beach wearing his usual plaid shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots, yes, boots on the beach, he was instantly met with looks from the throng. Gwen, who appeared to have just emerged from participating in a Vogue photo while wearing a bedazzled bikini cover-up, made an effort to maintain her composure. Yet even she couldn't help but laugh at Blake's ensemble. She made a playful remark to her boyfriend. "Babe, you look like you're about to herd cattle, not build a sandcastle." The only thing that Blake did was give a slight bow and say, "Darlin', this is how we do it in Oklahoma." Warning: the state of Oklahoma is not especially well known for its beaches. After Blake made the decision to set up camp, the situation went from being peculiar to being catastrophic. A huge beach umbrella with a camouflage design that appeared to be a hunting blind was one of the items that he had brought along with him. During the time that he was struggling with the device and moaning about how city folks overcomplicate everything, a gust of wind caught the umbrella and sent it sliding down the shore, almost destroying the sandcastle masterpiece that had been constructed by a set of family members. With a look of embarrassment on her face, Gwen ran after it while wearing her 6-inch platform sandals and yelling her apologies while Blake doubled over with laughter. In a manner that was entirely ineffective, he yelled out, "That's why I stick to the ranch." The actual catastrophe, however, occurred during lunchtime. The picnic feast that Gwen had prepared was quite sophisticated. It included gourmet cheeses, organic fruit, and a kale salad, all of which probably cost more than Blake's truck. Blake drew out a can of beer and a package of beef jerky and declared, "This is real food." He was not impressed by the food. A roe bird swooped down with the precision of a Navy SEAL while they were arguing in a fun manner over who had the better lunch throughout the conversation. While doing so, it stole Gwen's kale salad, knocked over Blake's beer, and here's the kicker: it left a souvenir right on Blake's cowboy hat. All of this occurred in a single fast action. Gwen let out a scream, Blake uttered a curse, and the entire beach turned its attention to watch the couple struggle to get away from the danger that was represented by wings. You would think that would be the end of it, but the seagull had buddies, so of course that wasn't the case. In a matter of minutes, an entire flock arrived, and they were looking at Gwen's cheese platter and Blake's jerky as if they were at an all-you-can-eat dining establishment. Blake, who had always been a country lad, rose up and said, "Y'all had better scat before I turn you into fried chicken," while swinging his arms like a windmill. While everything was going on, Gwen was frantically packing up her picnic and grumbling about how she would never take another bird for granted again. Blake tripped over the cooler, fell face first into the sand, and emerged from the sand looking like a human sand dune. This was the moment when the insanity reached its extreme point. Gwen was unable to contain her laughter. She came out laughing so hard that she found herself on the verge of crying rid of the seagulls
her mascara
and salvaged what little dignity they had left. They quickly gathered their belongings, abandoned their plans for a romantic vacation, and made a beeline for the closest diner, where they could eat in peace without worrying about being attacked by someone flying overhead. A deal was struck between them over fatty burgers and milkshakes. There would be no more beaches ever again. In the process of removing sand from his beard, Blake remarked, "I'd rather be on a muddy riverbank than be subjected to this nonsense." While Gwen continued to remove feathers from her hair, she gave her assent. "In the future, we are going to visit a spa, just vibrations, with no birds or beach in sight." Since that disastrous day, the couple has avoided sandy coasts and instead remained in their own comfort zones, which are Blake's ranch in Oklahoma and Gwen's studio in Los Angeles of the shining kind. The tale of the seagull incident, on the other hand, has become a favorite among their group of friends and is told with an increasing amount of exaggeration at each and every family gathering. Blake claims that the seagull was as large as an eagle, but Gwen maintains that it was a part of a plot to destroy her picnic, which was supposed to be perfect. Their close friends, including their colleagues in the music industry and other coaches on The Voice, are unable to get enough of the story, and it has even sparked a few jokes within their inner circle. As a joke, Carson Daly once sent them a beach towel with a bird pattern on it. Blake immediately used the towel as a cloth in his barn without even thinking twice about it. In addition, the beach band has evolved into a peculiar representation of the strength of their connection. They have learned to laugh at their differences and find common ground, even if that ground is nowhere near a shoreline. Blake and Gwen are opposites in so many ways, including country and pop music, boots and heels, jerky, and kale. But they have acquired the ability to laugh at their differences. Their followers are also enamored with the narrative, and they have been known to post memes on social media depicting Blake battling seagulls or Gwen running away in her stilettos. In spite of the fact that they are well-known celebrities, this duo is quite approachable for a number of reasons. Expecting to see Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani the next time you are at the beach, looking out over the horizon for celebrity sightings is not something you should anticipate happening. In a location that is inaccessible to any seagull, they are most likely back at the ranch, where they are grilling steaks and drinking whiskey. It is possible that you have stumbled onto a piece of their infamous beach tragedy if you ever come across a cowboy hat that has a white stain that seems suspicious. Blake would remark, "Some things are better left to the birds." It is a wise statement.